Hey, it's Don, the auction professor. Today, me and the wife went out. It's Halloween coming up, so I've talked about we do costumes. We were actually going out just looking for costume material for ourselves, not looking to make money or anything like that. We were just goofing off. We do go by thrift stores too for other things, obviously. We found some costume pieces, but again, I always look for stuff to sell if I'm there. I don't make a special trip. I don't make a big stink of it. I found a few select items here at two different stores, but I just wanted to point out some of these items. These are items that people just seem to pass up all the time, especially dolls. And I get friends that make fun of me for buying girls' toys and things like that. This is a business. I don't care if it's a doll or what it is. If it's something I can sell and make a good profit and it's cheap, I am going to buy it. I have no problem with understanding and knowing how dolls sell and which ones to buy. Just like my wife has no problem buying army men or, boys' toys, I guess you could call them. They all make money for us. And I don't really care what somebody thinks about it. It's the profit, my bottom line, that matters. My bottom line increases when I sell things like this because I usually get them cheap. But something like this, I paid $1 for. It's an IMCO, 1950s, good condition. It still walks. It still has sleepy working eyes. This is something that, I'm going to get $25 for or so on any given day. I mean, it looks like it's the right costume even. So, it's a decent thing. So, at $1, I'm not going to lose. And then I bought some other ones. And now here's another example. Then this is from a secondhand store. People think, again, dolls guy. What are you messing with the dolls for? This one's arms were broken like this. This is a different story. This is a Ginny doll. And this is vintage, 50s, hard plastic. These are very collectible. They're repairable too. I can use a crochet hook to reattach these with, modern day bands. So it'd be just a perfect doll. So again, I keep that kind of stuff too because I do buy dolls quite often. She's got her original dress. Once the arms are back on, I'll get $15-20 for her easily. Maybe even more. So again, I don't worry if it's a doll. I don't worry if it's something someone thinks I shouldn't buy. A lot of guys will buy ladies' clothing. So, that's not a problem. And a lot of women will buy men's clothing. It's not an issue. You're out there to make money. And if the doll's, something specific like a Native American like this, it's an early 50s, it's cute, I'm going to get $15-20 for it. So here's another one. This is a horseman doll. It's a cute doll. It's Disney. This is another $15-20. I don't worry if it's a doll. Here's another. Here's a cute one too right here. Now this is a 1970 Mattel made by Barbie. It's an early bendable Barbie. I don't see these. It's even marked on the bottom of the feet. It's at the Barbie line. It's a good doll here. I'll probably get $30 or $40 for this one. And here's another one. Again, $1 a piece for these. And most people like me wouldn't pick these up, but I pick them all up. Here's a Davy Crockett doll. 1950s, hard plastic. It could even be 1940s. And a lot of people might think it doesn't look the greatest, but this is just the style of doll. It's got the blinky eyes, the whole works. This is $15-20 again. So I don't worry if it's a doll. I don't worry if my wife's not there and someone thinks I'm weird for buying dolls. I'm dressed professionally. I'm looking for, stuff specifically. I'm not going to pass something by because it's not in a genre that I think I should sell. Like these here. I watched another reseller who I know walk right by these, didn't think a thing of them. I paid $6 for these at a Goodwill. Stickers still on the bag. $3 a bag for each of these. I hunted around. I crawled on my knees when I saw the first bag. These are Marks, 1963. I think it's the Desert Fox set. I will get out of this $6 investment. These are $30 a piece in good condition. These are German tanks. The key thing on tanks like these, if the tank has a number on it. I have only seen Mark's tanks with numbers on it. 351. This is the German tank. It also has the cross, or a resemblance of the German Iron Cross on the tanks. Turret back. So again, these are legit items. These are from 1963. And it was mixed in with junk ones too. So I got one junk one here. And there was other bags with just junk tanks that went with this set. You need to realize the difference on these, the rolling wheels. Just 6 or 8 of these wheels for the tank will sell for $30. Just the wheels on the bottom. The turrets I can get $8-10 for. Now here's another tank. This is a 51. This is a US one from the same set. This one's got some damage. Had this been in good condition, this is an $80 tank. Again, I paid $6 for them all. This is something I see people miss or pass up all the time. You can disassemble these. This is missing a tire, so this will still sell damaged, missing a tire. I'll still get 15 or 20 bucks for this tank because of how rare these are. They don't show up. This is the biggest tank from that set. I believe it's the U.S., maybe a Sherman. There were other items in here. Again, I think the whole set carried 6 of these tanks. I got all 6. $30 on average these go for a piece. 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180 in just tanks. You can look these up. If you sell them as a lot, I'd probably get 120 to 140 as opposed to waiting and holding on to them at one at a time for $30. Someone's going to want to finish the set on these, so I will sell them that way and list one at a time if that's what it takes. So again, these are good money. $6 for my investment. The howitzers that come with this set, 2 of them, one's damaged. Even damaged, this one's still going to get me $5 or $6 at least. Undamaged, I'll probably get 15 or 20 for the howitzer from this set. There's also a half track. These are 20 or 30 bucks too on a good day of the week. So again, another good item. This is the German one. This is from that same set. Here's the U.S. half track from that same set. 15, 20 bucks. And again, people don't think much of these, especially when they don't see the people with them. They just look cheap. There's no marking on these. You're going to have to realize that. Some of the sets on these did not have markings on the bottom. Another tank, and again, I said the numbered tanks. This is number 41. This set, I think they all have numbers on them. But if you run into some of these and you're not sure, look them up. Compare them to marks. I run into tanks and vehicles way more than I run into the figures. This is a BOLO all day long. You can see just in here there's a couple $100 for my $6 investment. And that's just the way it is. They're specific. They're plastic of a certain type. Their colors are usually specific. The detail is specific in these. And the German ones, as I've said, 351 is marked on the tanks. Not just this set. There are tanks from some of these sets, but again, there are other versions and other types of tanks. Like a Russian tank from some of these sets can still go for a ton of money. Some of the Russian tanks can go for $200 or $300 or more if someone needs to finish their set. So, you get the right tank, you get the right one, like the Japanese tanks or some of the other oddball tanks from these sets go for a lot of money. They're from scarce sets. They may be from a Sears only set. These are from the 50s and 60s for the most part, what you want. And most people don't know the age and how to tell vintage from newer. So again, you need to look for these items here. I'll show you a few close-ups here in just a second on the tanks and the vehicles, just so you can see the difference. But again, these are items that most people would have missed at the store I went to. There was other pickers there at the store when we were there. There was a clothes buyer. There was, again, as I said, somebody I've talked to before who buys collectibles and antiques, and he walked right by these. The other store we went to, there was a couple shoppers there that were obviously resellers as well, trying to get a better deal. They all walked right by these thinking nothing of them. So again, it doesn't matter what the item is. There's a lot of things that can hold value. It doesn't matter if it's something that you wouldn't be interested in or just don't simply like or want to mess with. But if you want to make profits, you got to look at other items. There are some items that I could care less on buying and selling. I don't mess with HBA or anything like that. Health and beauty aids, for those of you who don't know HBA, but I don't mess with those. I just don't want to mess with the hassle with it, especially if it's liquid or creams or anything like that. I don't like messing with the mailing issue if something happens to it. So just my preference. Nothing wrong whatsoever with selling any of those type of items. I know personally people make a lot of money doing it. It's just not for me. That's just me. But again, I love this stuff. I love selling what I like. So I like these toys. I had sets of these when I was a kid. Dolls a different story. My wife likes them, so, I can't go wrong either way around. If you get what you like or you get some genre that you don't mind selling, and that's great. So anyway, we're going to go to the screen for just a couple minutes here, and I'm going to show you some close-ups on these. So here's the first tank. This is the German one. You're just going to have to get the feel for what these are. You can see the 351 on the side. Again, there's many different numbers on some of these. There's ones that don't have numbers, that'll just have stars or crosses on them. You can see the cross on them as well, too. Something they wouldn't do so much these days. You can see the wheels on this. Again, just these wheels, I can get about $30 for 6 or 8 of these wheels. And I sometimes just run into these where people don't know what they are from big lots of toys. So again, cheapo one, you just need to be able to tell the difference. If it says China, it's no good. But again, they're all the same kind of tank. As you can see, I've got bunches of them here. $30 a tank on the general rule is what I get for these. The howitzers here, the same thing. Some of these are bigger than this. There's several different sizes. Some, they've got a little lever you pull back and it actually fires a missile. They're solid plastic wheels. There's usually metal on these. Some of them don't have a metal axle, but most do. Again, this one's a little damaged here. Some of these can be re-glued because it's just glue that's come undone, which is this case. This is just glue. It's actually a separate piece. But these are the authentic, the original ones. Then we've got the half tracks, which you can see the half tracks there. It's a little dirty, but they can be cleaned up very easily. Very good condition here. The German one and the US version of it too. So, they're all good. Let's show you the other two tanks here. This is number 41. And if you do a comp search, which I always recommend, type in 41 Marks tank, and this is going to show up, and you'll see what they go for on their own. This has a little bit of damage to it. People will still want these. They still will sell. I'll probably put the damaged ones in a lot. But I'm going to get a couple $100 back from these. And here's the other tank, tank 51. So again, these come apart. You can swap out pieces like this piece is damaged. Someone might have a good one of these, but a bad tank base. That's why I'll still sell these for 20 or 30 bucks. Even missing a tire, because people do buy the tires. But again, that's just a close-up on these. That just gives you an idea. Let me show you the Ginny doll too. And I'm just going to show you the Ginny doll too, just so you can get a gist on how she is. The faces are very similar. There's composition versions of this same doll. Hard plastic, soft plastic, and vinyl as well is what I've seen. She is marked Ginny. Let me get it where it's a little better in focus. Now let me focus it here so you can see it just a little better. But she's marked Ginny on the back. You can see it right there, I think. That's what you're looking for there on these dolls. And again, they could come in many different styles. There's some that have jointed knees that go for a lot more. Parts can be replaced on these. You can restring them. The whole works, as I said. So again, doll or not, I still mess with it. So anyway. Well, that's what I have for you today. Just a quick haul. Again, we weren't planning on hauling. We weren't going out to do anything special. We were just looking for costume pieces for our Halloween costumes for this month. So again, that's what I have for you today. Hopefully that gave you some ideas and some thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified when we post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell a friend.